In 2006, Muhammad Yunus became the only businessman to ever win the Nobel Peace Prize for his pioneering work in microcredit, which has helped millions of people out of a poverty cycle in Bangladesh. Muhammad is right here with me now to talk about all his work with his new book, Creating a World Without Poverty. So, Muhammad Yunus, it's
I'm glad to be here.
absolute honour to have you here with me today. Firstly, tell us about your book.
The book talks about our experience that we have gathered over years, 31 years now, in Grameen Bank, and all the things that we tried to do along the way on the technology, renewable energy, and textile, and many other things to bring opportunities for poor people, particularly poor women in Bangladesh. And then I'm developing an idea of what we call a social business. That's what I try to illustrate, what the business world should be, what is missing in this capitalist system, what is missing in the whole structure of economic theory of capitalism. And I'm saying there's only one kind of business that is presented within the system of capitalism, and that's a business to make money. And the mission of business is to maximize profit. And I'm pointing out that that kind of gives you a picture of a human being as if human being is a money-making machine. Human being is a robot-like entity, single-dimensional entity. But the real world human being are multidimensional human beings. They want to do lots of different things, enjoy that. Making money is important, but helping others is also important in human life. But that part is completely cut off from the picture of economic theory. So I said, why don't we create a space and have a new kind of business kind of inserted in that theory. One is a business to make money, another is business to do good to people. Without having any interest in making money for yourself. So the conventional business is all about myself. I want to benefit entirely from that. The new business I'm promoting, social business, that is all about others, nothing about me. So it's a kind of a counter to the one. And this exists in every human being. I'm not saying that this is something to be inserted into the human being. No, human being is full of that. So once we create that, then we can create social businesses to address all the problems that we see around us: poverty, diseases, malnutrition, good quality water, environmental issues, renewable energy, you name it. The things that we always feel frustrated about. World is moving ahead, but there are lots of people remaining poor and getting poorer and desperate and so on. Nothing has been done about poverty. Nothing has been done about diseases. There are many diseases which remain unresolved. So this is what I presented in the book.
It's an incredibly inspiring book. I know you were talking about unfettered market capitalism, which is essentially what has been Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations, 200 centuries of this idea of unfettered market capitalism. 100-lane highway, I believe you described it as, without any traffic lights, without any rules on it. And this has clearly not worked. It certainly hasn't helped, but it has worked in terms of maintaining a status quo. And that status quo is that in order for us in the West to have a rich lifestyle and to have all the products that we want and need, someone has to suffer for that.
That's right.
And what you're saying is presumably that doesn't have to be the case.
Exactly. It's not even status quo. It's getting worse because money is being funneled in one direction. So there are lots of people becoming billionaires, lots of people are becoming enormous wealth.
Wasn't it the first time 1,000 billionaires
exactly.
or something?
And there are people who are absolutely desperately poor. So status quo would have been the more generally accepted income distribution, which is not. It's getting worse. So we're saying that there's something wrong in the system itself. When you look at the poor people, this is what I bring out every time I talk about poverty. Through our experience, we see there's nothing wrong with poor people. They're as energetic, as creative, as enterprising as anybody else in the whole world. But they never get a chance to unleash their energy, their creativity, and they remain poor. So poor people are not responsible, are not the cause of poverty. The cause of poverty is in the system. So why don't we go to the system first before we try to be charitable and give something to the poor people?